Hey guys, what's up? Scythe here. This was the first episode of Bounty Hunter Tips and Tricks, and I'm just going to get started with this episode and go over Bounty Hunter, Mercenary, Arsenal, Spec, Talent Tree, the rotation. We'll get into the Talent Tree in the next episode and do toolbar configuration, so if you want to watch that, just subscribe to my channel, and I'll have that up in just a few days. Also, I'm trying to put out some new strategies and some other content for PvP coming soon. So, yeah, next couple of weeks, my channel should start picking up. To start off with the Bounty Hunter rotation, you do have rapid shots, which you'll be using when you're overheated. It's pretty much just when you're overheated. You don't want to use this unless you're on the move, of course, and you need to lay down a little extra DPS. You have two situational abilities. Death from above, 25 heat, does a massive amount of damage, 3780 AoE damage. Two or more targets that are stationary for a few seconds, you want to use this. You'll get some massive splash damage. Fusion Missile is another really cool ability that does an AoE dot. You can also use this to speed up your single target DPS also by using Power Surge and throw it in your rotation with really just having to use a global to get it in. But if not, it's also a situational ability. Two or more targets, you want to use it. You have two procs you want to be looking for during your rotation. One is for your rapid shot. And this is going to increase the damage by, it's not rapid shot, it's unload. It's going to increase the damage by 25% when it procs. And then you have one for a rail shot, which requires 5 heat signatures to increase the damage of rail shot by 6% per stack. Rail shot can only be used on dotted targets or stun targets. So you're going to have a dot or some kind of stun to use a rail shot, but you want your 5 stacks, which your tracer missile gives you the 5 stacks of heat signature. Your first ability you're going to want to make sure it's on the target at all times, the explosive dart. This can explode and hit neighborly targets, 3 targets, and do splash damage, but it also hit for 1100 on 1 target. So you want to make sure this is always up on your target. Really good to have. Heat Seekers, don't be afraid to use this, even though you know, I'll show where it fits in later in the rotation, but if you're on the run and you don't have time to get a cast off, this still hits for 1500 damage. So really, you know, if you need to get this off, go ahead and use it. It's 15-second cooldown. Most of the time you won't be able to get all your cast in before, you know, it'll be ready again by the time you're done with the end of your rotation. Unload, that'll be a proc based ability. We'll get to that. Your main ability that you're going to be wanting to fire at all targets when you're able to cast. When you're not able to cast, it's explosive dart, heat seekers, rapid shots. You can also use your power surge to get the AoE dot on a target or shoot a tracer missile. But your primary goal, say if you're just sitting there nuking a target from a distance, they're not attacking you, they're not in your face, you're going to be wanting to use tracer missile. 3 tracer missiles will stack a armor, reduce the target's armor 4% per stack. You have a talent that increases stacks per shot. I think it increases to, for every shot, it does 2 stacks. So it requires 3 tracer missile shots to get 5 stacks, which will in return not give you the rail shot 5. I don't know if it's supposed to work that way, but if you watch your numbers, 3 of these, it doesn't stack. It requires 5 tracers to get the full 5 stack of rail shot. But anyway, 3 shots of tracer missile. We're talking about single target DPS, not in your face. 3 shots. By this time, you will have an unload proc. Depending on your unload proc, if you don't have it, you're going to want to finish with Heat Seeker. Heat Seeker has a talent and a special that it increases its damage 5% per stack. So 3 shots of Tracer, then a Heat Seeker hits the target. That's 25% more damage out of your Heat Seeker. So that's going to hit huge, and if it crits, it's amazing. So you're starting off with your dart, 3 tracers, fire heat-seeking missiles, use your unload proc, and then if the target's still not dead, like you got a bubble or you got a heal, you're going to want to fire off 2 more tracers, which will give you your 5 stack for rail shot, and finish them with rail shot. And by that time you should be overheated, and you're going to want to vent heat and start the process over again. So we'll go over that one more time. Rapid shots, heat seekers, darts are all movement. When you're on the run, you want to use these constantly. When you're setting up your stationary target DPS, you want to go explosive dart. You can throw in a fusion missile if you have power surge up there. I don't recommend you just sitting there casting it unless you have a lot of time and if the target's not going to go around the corner. If there's line of sight coming up, you want to skip the fusion missile step. So you're going into tracer missile, 3 tracer missiles into a heat seeker missile. Wait for your unload proc, 2 more tracer missiles, rail shot. Make sure you watch your procs, because sometimes stuff happens, the buffs fall off when you're moving and you're not able to get, the right proc is not up to use. And don't forget about you can reduce the heat on your next ability, so if you're getting overheated you can use it on one of your abilities. I definitely recommend using it on a ability that costs 25 to 33 heat, which your fusion missile is definitely the one you want to use it on. The rest of you, rotation is more defensive. You have your rocket punch for close range combat to blow a target back. There's also a talent point. Like I said, we'll get into that next time. You have your blowback. You have your dart. I really don't like to use the stun dart. I like to use it for defensive instead of offense, just because there's so much melee that can get up in your face and destroy you as a Merc Arsenal bounty hunter. So I'm going to put that on the screen, the list of the rotation, somewhere right here, and let you guys actually be able to see it in words in case I've been talking too fast. I'm trying to keep this video short. And also we'll go into the skill tree, and I'll show you my spec in the next video. And if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them, and later on.